A federal loan will help a local hospital get on better financial footing, and its board will be reorganized to include more physicians.
Pregnant women and new parents will be getting more help from a state program that provides home visits and counseling. And state troopers remind people to be courteous during the Labor Day weekend.
A slow cool down is coming to East Alabama, but it's going to take a while before it gets here. We'll have the complete forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, we'll talk about one of the biggest rivalry football games in Calhoun County. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
Anniston's Healthcare Authority, which manages Regional Medical Center, is getting a $34 million loan from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to strengthen the hospital's finances. It is also qualified for an additional $10 million from HUD for capital improvements designed to recruit medical specialists needed by the hospital. As part of the deal, the RMC governing body will be reorganized to include only members appointed by the Anniston City Council and the local medical community. At a special called meeting Wednesday afternoon, the council voted unanimously to make the organizational changes necessary. Mayor Jack Draper said following the meeting that the restructuring was a key element of getting the HUD loan.
At the end of the day, it is a City of Anniston asset, but we recognize that it does benefit the region. We're proud to be able to do this. We think, though, with restructuring the board, with greater influence, and again, an undiluted influence from the city, with greater influence from the medical community, we believe that the hospital will be on firmer footing. We're excited, and we believe that RMC will become all that it can be for the benefit of all of us.
When the authority was reorganized 8 years ago, it included members appointed by the Calhoun County Commission and the city councils of Jacksonville and Oxford. Draper, who was not the mayor of Anniston at the time, said the group should have been limited to Anniston appointees because the city owns the facility and has the final responsibility for it. The authority will now be composed of 7 members appointed by the City Council and 4 members selected by physicians who practice at RMC. Draper said this change opens the door for the much-needed federal assistance.
They need an infusion of capital for their existing debt, frankly, but there is a commitment for $10 million to be spent on capital equipment upgrades, and we think that'll go a long way toward attracting quality surgical talent. I mean, it is imperative that happen for the hospital to be put not only in a firmer financial footing, but with respect to the equipment that it provides.
Bud Owsley, an Anniston businessman who serves as secretary of the Healthcare Authority, said the council's restructuring of the authority shows the city's strong support for its work. He said that the first part of the HUD loan will allow the hospital to get away from what he described as an overbearing lender and make the investments necessary to serve its patients.
RMC is now strong and stable, having secured our debt now to be long-term and to be a monthly mortgage that we can pay, that we feel that this is going to allow us to move forward and focus on the matters which need to be addressed to help make the hospital continue to improve.
Owsley said the second loan of $10 million from HUD will help RMC as it works to expand services that it offers by recruiting more physicians. The hospital will remain an autonomous facility, but as the trend toward hospital mergers increases nationwide, Owsley said that RMC is keeping its options open.
I think it's always important for any concern to keep options on the table. So I would say that if we do that, then we're best positioning the hospital for greater opportunities to continue to do more for our community and the district at large that we serve, which is 5 counties.
An Ohatchee man was killed Wednesday afternoon in a one-car accident. State troopers have identified the victim as 55-year-old John L. Pruitt. The crash occurred around 6:30 Wednesday afternoon on Alabama Highway 144, about 2 miles east of Ohatchee. Troopers say Pruitt's car left the road, striking a ditch and overturning when it hit a tree. Pruitt, who was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident, was pronounced dead at the scene.
When we return, soon-to-be mothers and new parents will be getting more help from state health officials.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Alabama is receiving almost $8.3 million this year to pay for home visits to women during pregnancy and to parents of young children up to kindergarten age. The Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education will use the federal money for visits in all 67 counties, according to a news release from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The visits are part of a nationwide program aimed at helping parents deal with the stress and expense of having young children. The visits will come from nurses, social workers, and other trained health workers who provide families with prenatal care and postpartum support. They will offer information about breastfeeding, safe sleep for babies, communication practices that promote early language development, getting children ready to succeed in school, and connecting with community resources.
When we come back, officials remind voters to keep everything shipshape for the upcoming holiday weekend.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Labor Day weekend starts Saturday, and law enforcement officials expect Alabama's creeks, rivers, and lakes to be full of people for the final summer holiday. State troopers have these reminders for those of you who are heading to the water for this weekend. First, be mindful of other boaters and swimmers. Please share the waterway and remain courteous at all times. Next, never operate a vessel while impaired, especially by alcohol. Third, always wear a life jacket. Remember that canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddle boards are considered to be vessels and are subject to the personal flotation device requirements. Finally, consider taking a safety class if participating in paddle sports.
I gotta tell you, Mike, if Labor Day weekend is gonna be anything like the rest of this week, the water is the only place to be, really.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? Yes. And if you can't be in a pool where you know things are safe, if you're gonna be out on the river, the lakes, the creeks, be careful out there.
That's exactly right. John Holder is joining us now in the EAN Weather Center as we inch closer to Labor Day to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect the rest of this week and into the weekend. John?
Mike and Katie, pretty classic Labor Day weekend weather coming up across East Alabama. We'll have the complete forecast details next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
It was another scorcher today across East Alabama. Temperatures again well above the average. 96 for the high today after a morning low this morning of 66 degrees. Record high temperature 99, the record low at 52. Our sun setting tonight on this Thursday at 7:12 and the sun rising Friday morning at 6:17. Weather on your street on a Thursday night is going to be busy on Trustee Circle on the campus of Jacksonville State University. Why? Well, Jacksonville State opens up football tonight with Coastal Carolina in town at Amherst Stadium. So that's a busy area. The campus abuzz today. Going to be a nice night for football. Temperatures will be in the 80s for most of the night. Overnight tonight, we're going to drop down to 71 in Jacksonville. Some patchy fog late. So if you're coming home late from the game tonight, just be aware there could be little patches of fog all across East Alabama. Coming up tomorrow, again, more of the same. Sun, heat, few showers out there. Taylor Road in Glencoe, 94 tomorrow. About a 1 in 3 chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm with the heating of the day, just like today. And as we move into the weekend, looking at the weekend forecast, classic Labor Day weekend weather. What do we mean by that? Well, that means temperatures in the low 90s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, about a 30 to 40% chance of those. And it will be a little bit muggy over the weekend as well. That means a lot of folks going to want to jump in Coldwater Creek maybe for one last time as we unofficially close out summertime with the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Temperatures in the 90s, a quick shower, but the creek will feel good out at Coldwater Creek at any time this weekend. Here's the 7-day forecast for all of East Alabama, and you're going to see every day now a chance of showers. That's good news. Look at these temperatures. 94 tomorrow. That'll be the hottest day. Then 93 Saturday, 92 Sunday, 89 on Monday for Labor Day. So these temperatures slowly working their way downward. We got to look at these shower chances. 30% tomorrow, then up to 40% Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then we'll draw your attention to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Look at this. Chances for rain going up to more than 50%. Temperatures in the 80s for highs, 84 on Tuesday, only 81 on Wednesday, 84 on Thursday. Nighttime lows dropping back down into the 60s, maybe some mid-60s by Thursday morning of next week. So certainly heading toward September and heading toward fall, we're going to see some cooler temperatures and some increased rain chances all across East Alabama. Let's take a look now at the beach because this is Labor Day weekend. It's the unofficial start of summer, or I should say ending of summertime. So what we've got is a lot of folks from East Alabama that head down to the Florida and Alabama beaches for one last time, perhaps in the sand and the sun. If that is you, we've got 9 dangers at the beach. Maybe you haven't been this year. Maybe it's been a couple of months. Want to remind you, just because it's almost September, we still have a lot of heat, a lot of sunburn. That'll be in play this weekend. A lot of lightning from pop-up thunderstorms. Rip currents, still a big thing down on the Gulf Coast, really at any time of year. Then we got high surf. We don't worry about tsunamis here in Alabama. We'll take that one off. Harmful algae blooms. Sharks, that has been a huge problem in Alabama and Florida this year. Normally not something that we think about here on the Gulf Coast, but it's been big this year. A lot of stories about that, a lot of incidents with shark bites and so forth. Jellyfish, always a big thing. And water quality, always big as well. So we want you to go to the beach and have a good time for Labor Day weekend, but we want you back safely here to East Alabama as well. So just keep all of these things in mind as you have fun at the beach this weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow morning for your Friday breakfast forecast. We'll look at your day at a glance coming up on Friday. And then, of course, we'll be back here tomorrow night for EAN Local News as we take a look at the forecast in depth for the Labor Day weekend for all of East Alabama. It is going to be a big weekend football-wise in the city of Jacksonville. Jordan Smith all over it in sports right now. Jordan?
Thanks, John. The Jacksonville Golden Eagles traveled to Etowah last Friday night for the first time since 1998, and they came out with a win 43-33. The Golden Eagles had a huge run in the second half that put them on top. Head coach Clint Smith says that they're still trying to figure out a couple things and try to improve on.
We got to get cleaner with how we, finish games, and still too many penalties and things like that put us in bad situations. But it was the first game. Those are things that can be corrected. So that's the good thing about it.
This season marks the first time that Jacksonville has been in Class 5A, and they've had to do a lot of rebuilding most of their offensive skill players and linebackers. With so many young players on both sides of the ball, Coach Smith sees promise in his football team.
We're playing a lot of 10th graders this year, a lot of 10th and 11th graders that didn't really start last year, and so they're trying to fill themselves out, get themselves ready to go, and they'll get better as time goes on. And that was a lot of them's first game to start and to be in, and have to play 4 quarters. And so, like I said, they'll find their way. We just got to continue to work to get better on the things that we can control with penalties and things like that doesn't put ourselves in bad situations.
This week, Jacksonville will travel to Larry Giddens Field to take on Alexandria in Calhoun County's biggest rivalry. With only 12 miles separating the two schools, both teams are very familiar with each other. One key focus of the week is keeping the focus on the game.
They pretty much stay focused this week. It's a rivalry game. They know Alexandria. Alexandria knows us. Their kids talk. A lot of them go to church together. A lot of them see each other during the week, and so it's a fun game to play in as a player. It's great for our communities, just to have some bragging rights when it's over and things like that. So, keeping them focused really isn't a hard thing. It's just, helping them to try to understand they've got to get to Friday, before they can, go out and play. We gotta have a good week of practice, and just those little things that's going to help us, go out there and play and compete. But it's a fun atmosphere. It's a fun week. Everybody in the school's excited about it. I know it at both places. So it's just one of those you like being a part of.
The Jacksonville State Gamecocks are set to begin their volleyball season this weekend at Pete Matthews Coliseum. The Gamecocks will host Arkansas Pine Bluff, New Orleans, and West Georgia. Jack State and Arkansas Pine Bluff will get it started tomorrow at noon. The tournament will last up until Saturday afternoon. That's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for that update, Jordan, and thank you for watching us today. You can find us every weeknight on Facebook and YouTube, on our website, and now on Rumble.
Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Friday for your news on your schedule.